Hello and welcome to a rather warm December afternoon, a Saturday afternoon, 12th of December I do believe it is. And I've been spending a lot of time obviously on my greenhouse lately, but now I've got the doors and the roof and everything on and it's nice and secure. I thought I'd better do a bit of gardening, hadn't I? So, December, gardening in December, well there's a lot of jobs you can be doing in the winter, a lot of the sort of architectural jobs, building things, moving things around, etc., as long as the ground is not too wet. So I am taking the chance to build a new garden bed. Now behind me, as you can see, is my swimming pool and deck, etc., on that side there, and I've got a bit of a bed that I made last year here, and obviously as you can see it's a bit of a raised bed with the rocks, etc., because the ground here is very rocky and it's just easy to sort of make a sort of bit of a raised bed. And also you can see around me here I've got big boulders and everything, and these were all dug out of the ground when I did the foundations for my deck and pool, etc. So you know, when I'm making a new bed it's just easy to make it edging it out of rocks. What I'm going to do here is, like I said, I've got that bed there, but I've got this all scrubby ground and it's not doing anything. It's got all stones, etc. And then I've got garden beds going over this side, but this bit is just looking scruffy and it's really starting to annoy me. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to extend that bed out here, sort of to the edge. Okay, so apologies, I've just been rudely interrupted by my camera falling over. A tad annoying, but like I said, if you see the edge of this bed here, what I'm going to do is extend the whole bed out of here, out to here and across. So I need to move these boulders over if I can, as much as is possible. And then what I'm going to do is a bit of the old no dig routine. So I'm just going to lay a base of cardboard. So I'm going to get rid of all the sort of big rocks, etc. Then lay down a base of cardboard, and then I'm going to lay down another base of horse manure. Now the horse manure I've got is pretty fresh at the moment. You know, it would be better if it was more aged, but it's December now. I'm not going to be planting up in it until sort of May time, so plenty of time for it to break down and be okay to plant in the springtime. And then I'm going to put some topsoil over that, and hopefully by moving the rocks out I'll have a sort of raised bed. I'll have an earth layer of about a foot or so above the sort of scrubby ground, which is good enough for new plants to be planted in and get themselves into this harder ground later on when they're stronger. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got my trusty helper Ethan. Here he is. Ooh. He's going to be helping me move the rocks, etc. So we shall get on with it. Okay, so Ethan and I have generally sort of cleared the area, levelled it out, as you can see, and we've moved all the rocks into place. These are big old units. He's used all his strength up now, Ethan. He's gone in for a bit of lunch, but we managed to sort of, even these big bits, we managed to sort of wedge them around and move them into place, and we've got a nice area now. And even at the back end here I've replaced the rocks that were there and made them bigger. So what I'm going to do, obviously as you can see, it's going to be quite a lot of manure and earth that's needed to raise this up, because I want, you know, to make it a good foot or so. So I'll have a few trips down the old farmhouse, but you can see from the picture there's quite a big pile of manure to be able to dig even, so I can do that. What I wanted to show you is, you know, again you might be thinking, oh, fresh manure, that's no good. This small area here, last year, there was nothing here either, and what I did again is I just got a load of manure, put that down, and then put the earth on top, and you can see that it's all rotted down to make a nice good black earth full of nutrients, etc. Oh, it's getting hard to talk. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same thing now. First of all, I'm going to put this cardboard down now. So I'm going to put cardboard all the way along here, just to prevent, as a barrier, to prevent, you know, any weeds initially coming up, which they shouldn't do when you've got that much earth on top, but you might as well. And then that cardboard will rot down as well. So I'll do that now. Okay, so next day, I've laid down the cardboard. Any old cardboard will do, as long as it's unprocessed, you know, your brown stuff. Doesn't have pictures like on your cornflake packets or anything like that, just any old. And I'll save this up from all the Amazon packages and whatever we get delivered. I'll save it up throughout the year, and if I don't use it for projects like this, I'll just tear it up and stick it in the compost. So, a good resource. Okay, so I've laid it down. I've thoroughly wet it. It rained last night anyway, but then I'll just give it another quick hosing. But thoroughly wet it down, just so that you're starting that process of it being able to break down itself as the earth goes on top of it. I'm going to lay this horse manure down there. Now, obviously, as you can see, I've not got nearly enough horse manure there at the minute, so I'm going to have to take 4, 5, 6 trips down the old stables to do a bit of digging to get enough horse manure, because I want a good, you know, 8 inches of horse manure in there before I put down my earth. So I'm going to get on with that now. I'll see you back when I've done it all. So, not quite finished the actual putting all the horse manure in yet, but I thought I'd give you an interim report, because I've had what we call in London a right result. Weather report, absolutely Baltic today. As you can see, there's ice on the ground. Blimey, the wind just nearly blew the camera away. Good job I've got reactions of a striking panther. Anyway, back to what was I on about? Yes, okay, so right result. So I've gone down to the stables, and I look, get my bags out, get ready to start shoveling manure, and the geezer's taken all of the horse, that big pile of horse manure that I showed you, taken it all away. So, but rather, he has left. He couldn't get into the back bit, so he's left all the aged, beautiful stuff at the back. So he's left me with this beautiful black stuff, and as you can see, lovely little worms in there and all sorts of good stuff. So I've shoveled 10, 12, 14 bags of that so far. So I had the fresh stuff, put the old stuff, this new stuff rather, over that, and I've done another load today, so I've got another load left here. I'll have to do tomorrow. -10 tomorrow though, so that'll be a bit nippy. But anyway, I've got to be happy. Right results, nearly done, and that a bit breezy today. And that compost, which is basically what it is now, I could near enough plant in that straight away now. So that's brilliant. Anyway, right result. See you tomorrow. Welcome back. Slightly calmer conditions today, although it's absolutely, again, Baltic. I think it's about -6. It was -10 this morning. So I've managed to fill the whole bed with compost and topsoil. I haven't fully topsoiled the back end, as you can see. I was going to leave that till the springtime, let it settle down, see what, and let the sun and the rain and the ice break it down further. Then I'll put some more topsoil on. So that's it for the actual work of putting the bed together at this time of year. Now it's planning it, and I've already had a bit of an idea, you know, started to look at the plants I want to put in there, as you can see. So let's have a look at those plants and how I'm thinking of planting up the bed.
So here's a bit of a plan that I knocked up on my garden planning software. As you can see, we've got the main area that I've just created, and on the right hand side at the back there is the area that's already there. Now that contains some irises already, so nice big yellow iris, and some very small with deep purple flowers, as you can see. Iris, beautiful on that, and it's got some phlox on the front hand side, and then I normally put some annuals interspersed in between there. On the left hand side there now is where I'm going to have, right at the back here, these are sort of, I'm looking at some sort of Achillea, and a nice flow of those, you know, in the mid-range of the area. And at the back here we've got Angelica that I've already got in there, and they're nice tall plants that you can see from the pool when it's, you know, when they actually grow really high up to like 5 or 6 feet, then you can see them, and they have that very intense sort of perfume. I want quite a few roses in this bed as well, and I haven't actually got any roses in my garden at all, other than the horrible bushy thingamajig ones that you have at the front of my house. But I want some nice shrub roses, you know, reds and pinks towards this other side opposite the yellows. You know, and it's quite busy with all the different colours in here, and obviously all of these flowers aren't going to be flowering at the same time. Like at the back here again, we've got some tall plants. These are tall asters that I've got in one of the other parts of the garden that I want to move, and they will be used to sort of mask the hardness of the wooden frame of the fence, etc. But again, because they're sort of tall, I'll be able to see some of those from the swimming pool end, but they will be used to mask the back, but they won't be there till September time, the flowers at least. But the Angelica, etc., that'll be there in the early summer. I want some shrubs at either end. I'm not exactly sure what, but the colour palette will determine what I put there. And then I've got a couple of obelisks in here that I'm going to look to make at the start of the season. I'll have some sort of clematis growing up there, and grass. I like grasses, so the grasses, they can add that sort of architectural sweeping beauty to your bed. And you know, even though there's not flowers, they've got that sweeping movement, and I really do love the tall grasses at the moment. And at the bottom end here as well, I've got smaller grasses, and again the creeping phlox, which is really easy to grow. Now this is a really sunny border, so at the front there as well, I'm thinking about getting some lavender across the front there, and that always again has that lots of nice smells. Actually, there's a theme I'm starting to think about now, is some real good perfume from all of these different plants as much as is possible. You know, the roses are often going to give you a beautiful smell, so this could be called my perfume border, and lots of lovely smells throughout the summer, as well as the beautiful flowers and the grasses. I'm not going to get them all done in 1 year, but let's something to aim for. And because I've got that drawing again, I won't be going out into the garden centres and just randomly buying stuff. I've got a nice palette that I want to start to look at and create. Well, there you go. Easy, quite an easy, you know. Got the big rocks in. They were a bit of a job, but other than that, you know, you don't have to do massive amounts of digging to create a new garden bed. You know, with the sort of no dig, get a bit of cardboard down so that the weeds can't immediately come up. Get some soil, some compost in there first of all. Give the plant something to get hold of. Topsoil, jobs are good.